What's that saying everybody says, don't burn bridges, right? I want to burn this shit to the ground today to make sure I can't take it back. This is not gonna be my normal kind of video. This is not gonna be all happy and fun and games. It is still gonna be helpful to a big percentage of people watching it. I've been debating on making this video since the very start of this channel, and I was nervous about how others within the music industry in Nashville would react and if it would negatively impact my career. And you know what? I don't care. I really don't care anymore. This is something that needs to be talked about. It's something that people need to be talking about publicly, and I'm not seeing anyone talk about it, so I'm gonna be the one to do it. I'm so tired of clients or potential clients coming to me broke because they've spent all of their money on people who are promising them things that can't deliver, that have no business making these promises, and that are charging thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in the name of giving you a successful career. Pretty much on a weekly basis, I get messages from artists on social media, Facebook and Instagram. I get asked from my own clients that someone offered them a deal. Someone offered them a record deal. Someone offered them a development deal. And what do I think? Oh my gosh, someone offered me a deal. All they want is $3,000 a month. Or all they want is $12,000 up front. I'm so tired of seeing artists get offered something like this and feeling like this is the only chance they have at a successful music career. Nothing could be further from the truth. Let me just start off by saying, if someone's offering you a record deal, yet they want $15,000 up front, that's not a record deal. What that is you're paying for label services. Now, some of these people that are doing this aren't necessarily out to actually screw you. However, some of the people that do offer this deal are literally out to screw you. And what they do is they're a Nashville record label. They're on Music Row. They're a Nashville development company. And you go to their website and you see names like Kenny Chesney and Keith Urban and Luke Combs, and you see this laundry list of names and you're like, oh my gosh, they want to help me. This is my shot. And then you write a big fat check and you give it to them. And what do you get in return? Almost 100% of the time you get nothing in return. Yes, they might give you some recorded music. Yes, they might set you up with a photographer. Yes, they might hook you up with a songwriter who wrote a hit back in the 90s who's completely irrelevant now. But you get basically nothing for this money. So you write all of this check and you get nothing in return for it. And what I mean by nothing in return is no meaningful movement in your career. The needle on your music career doesn't actually move because of this. You don't get any closer to actually paying your bills with music because of this deal that someone offers you. It's so frustrating to me to see artists who have real talent, real potential, get stuck in this mode where they think they have to take a deal like this. But what usually ends up happening to those that do take a deal like this, they end up forfeiting their entire music career because of it. Either because they've spent all the money that they have on a bullshit deal, or without even knowing it, they've signed with some sleazy development company that everyone for real within the industry knows is bullshit. So I'm gonna talk about how a record deal actually works, a real record deal. And then we're gonna talk about development deals. And I wanna sort all this stuff out so hopefully you watching will get something out of this and not get screwed. Oh, my blood pressure is high right now. Here's how a real record deal works. A record label or an A&R for a label sees you. They believe in you. They truly believe in you. They believe in you so much they're willing to invest their own money into you. They offer you a record deal. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what a good deal and a bad deal is necessarily, but for this case, we're going to say a real record deal doesn't charge you money up front. So you sign a record contract. Then they front the expenses for you to record your record or your EP. They usually will front expenses for you to buy gear, to set you up to go on the road. Sometimes a good record deal will even give you living expenses ahead of time, so that way you have money to pay your bills while you're recording your album and while they're setting you up to blow you up. They're gonna hook you up with management. They're gonna hook you up with booking agents. They're gonna set you up on tours. They're gonna set you up on radio tours. They're gonna push you to FM radio. They're gonna handle marketing expenses. They're gonna pay for all of this stuff up front without you cutting a check to them. Now, granted, yes, you do have to pay all of this back, and it comes out of the money that you make from your music. But a real record deal I want this to be crystal clear. A real record deal does not require you to write a check to someone before they begin working on you. So what you usually see in these situations where someone wants $15,000 to give you a record deal is you usually see that it's run by one or two people. They also happen to have a recording studio, so they're gonna record you. They also happen to have a photographer, so they're gonna shoot your photos. So the thing that you have to realize is what you're paying for is a service, not a record contract. You're not getting a real record deal. You're paying someone to record your music, usually in a very mediocre way, under the guise of a record label. I could do the same thing right now. I charge people up front to record their music. Right now, I could say, you know what? I'm gonna start a record label, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge $15,000 up front, and then I could just do what I normally do. But I'm not willing to do that because it's not honest. I'm not a record label. I'm a producer. I'm a mix engineer. And yes, I do artist development, which we're gonna talk about how I do artist development later in the video, because I'm sure some of you are gonna be like, oh, you're talking trash about people that develop artists. Didn't you say you do? Yes, I develop artists. So we're gonna go over how I do it and the reason why I do it the way that I do it later, but that is the least important part of this video. And the problem is that there's no clear-cut path in this music industry. You as an artist or a singer-songwriter, you probably, if you're in the very beginning stages of this, you have no idea how to get from where you are to selling out an arena. And that is totally fine. That's totally normal that doesn't make sense to you. The issue is these people know this, and they have an office down on Music Row here in Nashville, and they know that you don't know how to make it. And so they offer you some bullshit ass deal, hoping that you'll write a big fat check, thinking that they can help you get to where you want to go. Now, it's possible that they have the best of intent. It is possible that they're not actually trying to screw you. The issue is they've got these names listed on their website for someone that they co-wrote a song with back in the 90s, and since offering their development services or since starting their record label, they've never broke an artist before, not once. I see this constantly. People constantly send me contracts and, hey, so-and-so reached out to me. Do you know anything about them? What do you think of them? So of course I jump on Google like everyone should do, and I look them up. I'm like, oh, Kenny Chesney and Miranda Lambert, and oh, look at all these names, and then I'm like, well, who did they actually break though? Who are they? Who's actually signed to this label? And I scroll down, and it's a bunch of artists that have never done anything, and I scope out these artists on their social media, and they've got 0 followers, and they're playing 0 shows, and I can't find them on Apple Music. And so what happened is someone had some success in the 90s or in the early 2000s, and then they used that success to con artists into signing with them and giving them money. Now again, they may not be actively trying to screw you, but if someone offers you a deal and they can't point you to multiple examples of artists where they broke, and by broke, what I mean is multiple artists where they took from nothing and they turned them into something. If they can't show you that, and I don't mean something as in, oh, they put out an EP, or oh, they got good photos, or oh, they opened for Luke Combs one time. No, if they can't point you to multiple examples of artists that went from nothing to having real, legitimate careers within the music industry, then whether their intent is honest or not, it's a bad deal for you to write them a check. I'm kind of sorry that I'm this worked up, but honestly, this conversation happens between me and an artist or a client on a weekly basis, legitimately on a weekly basis. I have this conversation with someone, and it's so frustrating to me because some of these people, they really believe it's their only shot. Sometimes these labels and these development companies are positioning themselves in the conversation where we're your only shot. If you don't go through us, you won't have a career in music. Some of them have actually said that to people. Now, this is nothing new. There's been scammers in the music industry since the beginning of the music industry, but it's really bad right now. I do believe it's worse right now than it's ever been because there are so many singer-songwriters, there are so many bands, there's so many people wanting a career in music, and there are so many development companies, there are so many record labels, there's so many offices down here on Music Row that have never worked on a single successful piece of music. So development deals. There are a ton of deals out there where someone wants you to pay them $1,500 to $3,000 a month. We're talking a real nice house here, a really, really special house, $3,000 a month, a mortgage. They want you to pay them $3,000 a month so they can develop you. Some of these people have the best of intent. Some of these people did reach out to you because they really love your music. Some of these people really do want to help you. Doesn't make it a good deal. And again, some of these people are purely out to screw you and take your money. So most often what you see with these development deals is you stroke a check for $3,000 a month. And what do they give you in return? They build you a new website and they run your Facebook and your Instagram. They probably hook you up with a photographer who's never shot a single successful artist in their career. And maybe they put you in the room with a songwriter who has wrote a hit song 25 years ago who's never done anything since. Most of the time what you see with these deals is they're not giving you anything that you can't do yourself. So if you're thinking about taking a development deal like this, it's very important that one, you understand that 99% of these development deals are you just paying for services. Most of these services you can do yourself. Maybe you don't have the time, maybe you don't have the know-how, maybe you're not willing to even run your own socials and set up your own photographer. Whatever. If you're willing to pay a middleman to set up a photo shoot for you and to post on Instagram for you, then that is up to you. But you have to understand that 99% of these development deals, they're not developing you. They are just taking care of things for you and you're paying them monthly to do so. So the second thing you should consider if you're gonna sign either of these deals, record labels or a development deal, they should be able to point you to multiple people, multiple success stories where they were solely responsible for the development and success of an artist. And if they can't point you to multiple examples where they are the sole reason why this artist blew up, then it's a bad deal. And by bad deal, I mean, like, yes, they will run your socials, and yes, they probably will record your music, but it's a bad deal because one, they're being dishonest. They're telling you they can do something they've never done before. And two, it's a bad deal because a percentage of these deals are flat out scams. And three, it's a bad deal because you're perfectly capable of running your own social media. You're perfectly capable of hiring a web designer yourself. You're perfectly capable of figuring out a photographer who has shot covers for really successful artists and reaching out to them and hiring that person. You're perfectly capable of doing all of this stuff yourself. So yes, I actually do artist development. Here's how my artist development works. You pay me to have a conversation. If I charge hourly for this conversation, it's the same rate as if I was producing you. We have a 2, 3, 4 hour conversation. What we do during this conversation is we look at where you are as an artist, your current situation, your whole career, the music you have released, your level of talent, the things you need to work on, your marketing abilities, your social media, your website, your EPK, all of it. We look at all of it. And then we discuss where it is that you want to go. What is your goal as an artist? And then from those pieces of information, I create a step-by-step strategy on how you get from where you are to where you want to go. And then I give that strategy to you. I don't do anything for you. I don't make any promises. I'm not going to run your social medias. I'm not going to hook you up with a photographer. I'm going to tell you how to do all these things yourself. And you're going to pay me a very small amount of money to get really valuable information. And what you do with that information is entirely up to you. I'm not going to make promises. I'm not going to make you pay me monthly because I feel like the way that I do it is the most genuine, authentic, helpful way, and also the most affordable way that any artist can get help and can get a game plan for what to do within their music career. I've never made promises to the artists that I develop. I've never told someone that if you pay me X amount of dollars, this will happen to you. What I can do is give you the best chance for how to make this thing grow yourself, how to DIY it yourself and grassroots grow your music career yourself. I honestly didn't plan on sitting down and yelling at a camera for 15 minutes here, but this is something that I'm very passionate about. I absolutely hate seeing people ripped off. I hate seeing people spend money in a way that either doesn't help them or actually literally hurts their chances of success. I'm going on rants like this halfway often on Instagram. Tons of good information there. Hit me up on Instagram at Colt Capperrune. If you're on Facebook and it's your thing, it's just Colt Capperrune. If you got something from this, give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe tab. This was not a normal kind of video, but it's something that needed to be said. These sort of things need to be talked about, and it's hard because you can get shunned from inside the music industry for outing secrets. But I just don't care anymore. I really just don't care. So I hope in some way that this helped you, and I hope that you make smarter decisions, and I hope that this video gave you a better chance for a career in music. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.